When you visit a winery, of course, you get the chance to taste some wine, and every now and then you may also get an opportunity to go barrel tasting. But when you taste wine out of a barrel, how do you know what to look for? We get the essentials on barrel tasting from Master Sommelier Evan Goldstein at the Sebastiani Winery in Sonoma County. Sebastiani Winery has Cabernet Sauvignon aging in these barrels, Evan, and they're going to let us taste it.
That's a very cool thing. First and foremost, we need the right tools because we're not just going to show up with a glass and we have no bottles. So most important, you need what they call a thief or a pipette. And this is a device or a glass cylinder literally that allows us to go in, pull wine out of the bottles, put it into the glasses and taste. So you wouldn't mind helping me?
You got
Let's
it.
go in and see what goes on. So barrels are always closed by a bung. So the first thing you need to do is pop the bung out, go in there, then basically with your finger off, put the pipette down a little bit, sort of create a bit of a vacuum and pull the wine up. Then as it's starting to drizzle,
In with the glass?
we do it there. Then I put my finger back on, we stop, we go in again.
Evan says we're trying the wine before it's a finished wine.
I always tell people that wines are a lot like us. You know, wine is born of a harvest, and then it goes through fermentation as it actually comes out, and then it goes through various different stages. This wine is the Cabernet Sauvignon blend, aged in an American oak barrel. When it's in barrel, it's definitely sort of a kind of a toddler. It's growing up there, and you go into it to sort of taste the wine to get a sense of what it's going to be. So you go in and give it a sniff. It's maybe not as expressive as it would be at another point in time, but again, there's nothing wrong. So give it a taste.
It smells good to me.
By the way, when you're in a barrel tasting, you spit in the drain. They don't have fancy spit cups sitting around here everywhere, so it's perfectly okay. That's what would be expected. In barrel tasting, you're looking for big picture stuff. You're looking for the quality of fruit and what it's like. Is it black fruit versus red fruit? Is it ripe versus unripe? Are the tannins in place in the context of this wine? Does it seem too sour? Does it seem too tart? So it's a much more general sense of overall balance than it is the sort of very dissecting process that we do when we were tasting a wine in bottle. So in this particular case, it's got nice texture, it's round, the tannins are still a little bit hard and a little bit strong, and it's important to note that this is again a wine that's still got a lot more time to spend in this barrel. Those tannins will indeed soften out over time.
So we've tasted the American oak Cabernet Sauvignon.
Right.
And now?
We're going to go over to the French oak Cabernet. So why don't we meet me over here? We're going to do that same process again.
Not every winery offers barrel tasting, and you often have to call ahead and make an appointment.
Depending on where you live in your proximity to wine country, oftentimes the local newspaper might advertise we're barrel tasting this weekend or something like that.
And now we taste the wine in French oak.
So the color is going to be pretty much the same. It's the same wine. So what you're looking for here is not so much is one better or one worse, but just is it different?
So we're getting a sneak preview.
It's fun, it's different, and again, the idea of being able to taste a snapshot of a wine in development against the final product, which you'll then taste in the tasting room, can be a lot of fun and quite educational.